Thank you for joining us for CNTV. I'm Brad Klon.
And I'm Quin Tran.
Chickasaw musician Jordan Rayner has fond memories of growing up in Oklahoma.
She says it's the foundation of who she is. Here's more of our conversation with rising star Jordan Rayner. You reside in Nashville, Tennessee. Tell us about your roots here in Oklahoma, where you were born, and what you remember about growing up here in Oklahoma as a kid.
You know, I'm so grateful for the way that I was raised and where I was raised. I was born in Atoka, Oklahoma, Choctaw County, and I was raised in Tushka, Oklahoma. And I was pretty much raised at my grandparents' house. I was raised by my parents, but we were just always in Tushka. And there was this little log house that we lived in. It was tucked behind some pine trees, and we had a long road that went to the barn where we kept the horses. And my favorite thing to do as a kid was to walk that long trail to the barn and climb into the haylofts. The haylofts were as tall as the ceiling. And there were always stray cats that were having kittens up in those haylofts. And so my favorite thing as a kid would be to climb into those haylofts and listen for kittens and find kittens and, you know, ride horses. I got thrown off more horses as a kid. I'm surprised I can even walk straight. You know, being an Okie girl has made me who I am, and I'm so fond of my roots.
You are a Chickasaw citizen on your mother's side. How has the Chickasaw culture influenced you?
I have ancestors who were on the Trail of Tears, you know, to Oklahoma, and to pull from that knowledge and to know that there is such grit and there's such pain in the very veins that I have. I mean, that DNA is right there in my veins, and I feel so connected to that ancestry and that heritage. And I take such pride in that, to say, you know what, the grit that I have, the sass, the fire that I have, I mean, that comes from being from tough people, being from people who are survivors that have figured out how to make it work. And it almost gives me chills to talk about it, just to know that like, if you cut my finger and that blood comes out, that's history right there. And it's everything to me.
How did music enter your life?
Well, you know, my daddy is a preacher and my mama is a church singer, church pianist. My dad was an award-winning banjo player, bluegrass player. So I was born into music. I was surrounded by music, and it was the thing that I took very naturally to. I wasn't very good at sports. I wasn't very good at math or school, but man, I could pick up an instrument that I'd never played before. And within about 5 or 10 minutes, I was playing a song on it. And I figured out pretty quick, you know, Jordan, if you're going to have a shot at having any kind of life, maybe you better get really, really good at music. And that's what I did. I mean, music for me, it's the most dramatic, theatrical expression of what I want to say. You know, what I love about a stage, a concert, is you get to wear outrageously cool things. You get to be the biggest version of yourself, right? And, you know, some people, you know, knock my look and they knock how I look on stage, and they say that it looks like I'm wearing costumes. I kind of am, and I kind of love it. Music is that venue where you get to tell your stories in the most dramatic way, and you get to express yourself, and people get to go on a journey with you. I had a birth defect when I was, you know, obviously born, where it affected my vocal cords. For the first half of my life, speaking, singing was painful for me. I was chronically hoarse, and I didn't really have any set future in singing. And that's why I took to playing piano, playing guitar. Instruments was my first form of expression, because that was my voice. Later in life, I got diagnosed, started getting treated for this birth defect, and found out that I could sing. And so I added that on top of the musicianship. And that is my voice. And that is how I tell people who I am.
Those of us who enjoy country music love the stories that they tell. You've overcome so much. And do you use that to write your music? What is it about country music that you love to share?
Yeah. Listen, I'm a born storyteller. From the time that I was a kid, you know, I was a kid when PC computers first entered the homes of America. You know, I was kind of that generation. And I remember it was such a big deal when my dad brought home our first Windows computer. And the only thing that computer had on it was solitaire and a word processor. And my dad taught me how to type. And I would sit there as a kid and just write stories and tell stories. I've always loved to do that. And matter of fact, fun fact, For the last 8 years, I have written one short story a day. And so stories is in my blood. And so country music, when I found country music, I was like, oh, I am home. Let me at it. And country music is just another way to tell a great story.
I love that you are putting Oklahoma on the map and Chickasaw country on the map.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like for people to know about Jordan Rayner?
I want people to know that I am a proud Oklahoman and I know where I came from and I'm proud of where I came from. And everywhere that I go, every stage that I step on, every song that I sing, I'm bringing my culture and I'm bringing my hometown to those people, to you. You know, if I'm going to California, I'm bringing Oklahoma with me. And what that means to me is I am a woman of grit. I'm a woman of work ethic, power, passion, confidence, and I want to help other people. I want to make people smile. I want to offer joy. Whenever I step on that stage, I'm offering joy to anybody that'll take it.
Jordan is a lot of fun to visit with, and she's so talented. Jordan is on tour right now through June 1st.
Her 2024 Straight Shot Tour hits several cities. See where Jordan will be performing and learn more about the talented musician by visiting her website, jordanraynerofficial.com.
I wouldn't live there if I were a ghost.
The McSwain Theatre is known for its live entertainment, with several people getting their early start there. Over the years, these talented folks appeared on stage at the McSwain. Some launched to make it big in show business. Blake Shelton spent his high school years performing at the McSwain with Jae L Stilwell before heading to Nashville.
He had come to my office before he left, after he graduated, and he said, Jae L, I just want to tell you thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the show and hone my skills. And he was ready for bigger and better things, and by golly, he did bigger and better things. To me, the McSwain is the jewel of theaters to start your career in. We take you for your skills, for your personalities. We help you in any way we can to be the best you can be when you step on this stage.
While I wait for you by my window.
In an upcoming episode of CNTV, Jae L Stilwell explains what makes the McSwain Theatre such a special place for performers, why they enjoy showcasing their talents on that stage.
We're just a few days away from the deadline for the School to Work program application. February 29th is the deadline. The Chickasaw Nation School to Work program is an excellent opportunity for college and vocational students to experience on-the-job training. That training enhances their course of study. Eligible students receive a stipend during the program. For more information, visit chickasaw.net/school-to-work.
The Chickasaw Nation is offering free in-person and virtual tax filing help. The service is available to qualifying income-eligible individuals and families. It's all part of the VITA program, which stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. Go to the web address on your screen or call the VITA program to learn more details. The tax filing deadline is Monday, April 15th. That's all the time we have for this edition of CNTV. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.